You are listening to Show Up Arizona across the great and beautiful state of Arizona on iHeartRadio. Hello, Phoenix. Hello, Tucson. I've got a legend in the studio right now, a man that I look up to, a man that he might not know this, but we did an interview 3 years ago, Mas o menos 3 years, pre-COVID, pre-pandemic. He's at the House of Comedy, Rick Bronson's House of Comedy up there on High Street in Phoenix. Mr. Jimmy Schubert, welcome to iHeartRadio. How you doing, my man?
Hey, I'm doing well. I do remember that interview. We did it 3 years ago, and we did it in that little tiny green room back there at the House of Comedy.
That's you know what's really funny about that? That for people that don't know, at the House of Comedy, there is a green room where they let people do interviews, and you probably get changed and all that kind of thing. But it's tiny. It's a glorified closet. Now, you've been all around the country. You've been in probably big fancy green rooms and little tiny green rooms. Right. It was tiny. We were like shoulder to shoulder pre-COVID. I don't even know if people are comfortable having interviews like that anymore.
Well, I am. I mean, I would do it. It's funny, but you speak about we're two of the best green rooms in the country. Or Brad Garrett's green room was in Las Vegas, and also across the street at Tropicana, the green room at the Tropicana. They're giant green rooms. They got full bars and candy, and it's just it's amazing. But that's like Vegas stuff. That's old
now,
school.
Jimmy Schubert. I mean, traditionally, you're a Hollywood guy. You admit that. I don't think I'm speaking out of turn here.
Yeah.
Do you have like riders and stuff? I mean, do you have to have like the special kind of water, Fiji water?
No, you know what? I'm a simple guy. I mean, just your basic kind of rider stuff. I mean, I'm like that. I know some guys need a brand new pair of sneakers in the green room when they get there. I mean, it's ridiculous.
A thing?
Oh,
they ask for sneakers?
Some guys do actually. Yeah, I've heard some of you not allowed to make eye contact with some guys. I'm not like that. I'm a people person.
Well, you walked in today. You just asked for a coffee. Pretty easy stuff.
Pretty low maintenance.
Jimmy Schubert is at Rick Bronson's House of Comedy all weekend. All right, so I got to tell you about this. Going back to our first interview 3 years ago, I wasn't even with iHeartRadio yet. I don't know if you knew that, but a lot of this business is smoke and mirrors. You got to fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
You gave me an opportunity, and it really helped me because you have a big following. You're, like I said, a legend in the business. So I wanted to personally thank you for that. Now I have a bigger microphone. We're speaking to the whole state of Arizona, thank God. But you were one of the first people when I moved here from Barcelona, Spain, that gave me an opportunity to interview like a real star. So thanks for that, number one.
Yeah, but you had a hustle about you, and you were like on it, and you brought your own crew, and you were like, but you got to fake it till you make it. And obviously you got a bigger platform. So yeah, I always do. I do that with other comedians that are coming up. I try like this. I'm working with Stephanie Wood this week, real funny comedian out of Florida, and so I brought her with me to a feature at Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. She's hilariously funny. So we got a great show this week. But but I always like to people that are coming up that have hustle, they're working and I always try to support them or do whatever I can, to help out.
You recognize that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the moment, Jimmy, this is Show Up Arizona with Billy Hartfosh. Maybe 3 years from now when you come in, hopefully it's Show Up America with Billy Hartfosh.
Yeah,
it's just
look at that.
Future prediction. So going back 3 years, I was watching your show, and they kind of put me in the back of the House of Comedy, and I was observing you.
Yeah.
And you were doing this thing where you weren't looking at notes, you weren't looking at your phone, but your opening acts were on stage, and you were in the back, and it was really dim. This audience couldn't really see you, and you were sort of pacing. And I was like, wow, look at Jimmy Schubert. He's kind of pacing. As I've gotten more experience interviewing people, I see that a lot. I was with Vin Diesel a couple weeks ago at Fuel Fest in Chandler, Arizona. He was about to hit the stage. I was backstage. He was cool. We take a picture. We have a little talk. Vin Diesel, big star. And then right before he has to go on stage and kind of, be Vin Diesel, he puts on his leather jacket and he does this thing with his jaw, like cracking his jaw. Yeah. And you know what he does, Jimmy? He starts pacing. And my mind went to you. I said, is this like a showbiz? Do you have to psych yourself up before you hit that stage? What is that?
It's just channeling because you have nervous energy. But also, I'm reading the audience. I'm listening to what the other comedians are doing. I'm listening to what the audience is laughing at. And I'm also just kind of walking back and forth, just loosening myself up. And so, I'm reading the audience. In my head, I'm going over my act. And I'm just listening to what the audience is laughing to and reading the audience. So, that's the way I do it. But you're right. Everybody does it. Everybody paces. It's just a way to kind of channel some nervous energy. And my acting coach, Karen West, calls it butt breathing, where you learn to take deep breaths like you're breathing through your butt, because you got to just calm yourself down and then walk out and do what you were born to do.
So in a sense, that's part of your routine. That's your pre-show routine. You do this every night. By the way, you're doing multiple shows per night. Do you have to re-psych yourself up for show number 2?
No, once you do the first show, you get the first one out of the way, and then you just kind of I go back, I look at notes, and I make adjustments for the second show. Because like right now, I'm working on a new hour, so I'm kind of working on. I'll come off and I'll write a couple things down on what the way I like what went down or what I didn't like down, or how to fix something so that makes sense, But I'm kind of a ranter, so it's got to be like it's got to flow. It's
got to be in that headspace.
Yeah, but it's got to kind of flow. It's got to flow. It can't be like chunky. It's got to kind of be smooth.
Now, were you one of these comedians that paused during COVID? I mean, we've had people in here that took a pause. We just had a couple weeks ago Ben Glebe in here. Some people took a pause because of the health and safety. Other people are like, screw it. Like, I'm doing parking lots. I'll do Zoom sets. I'll do anything.
I'm that guy.
You just kept going, right?
Yeah, I just kept going. We did a big parking lot show up in Rochester, New York. But part of the problem was, it wasn't just because I was being but a lot of friends of mine, their businesses, I was trying to keep my friends' businesses afloat because they were, what could we do? Well, we could do an outdoor show. Yeah, we could do an outdoor show. So let's do a parking lot show. And so I was doing that. Out in LA, they had the Magic Castle. They were doing the parking lot shows out there. So it's like, yeah, it was just, and believe it or not, man, when you do comedy for people now, it's like you're doing a mitzvah for them. It's like people come up to you afterwards, man, I forgot how much I missed laughing. It's like, because it affects people's mental illness. And this has been tough on everybody, but a lot of people have struggled with it more than others. But it's like, people need to laugh. It's one of those quintessential things about being human. We need to laugh. We're social creatures. Put a mask on people, you're not allowed to socialize, you're not allowed to do anything. Well, that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. And you know what, Jimmy Shubert, is there a sense of keeping that comedic muscle, that stage muscle toned? Like for me, like I told you before the interview off air, I'm going to Florida for a couple weeks. I'm going to go visit my family. I'm going to have a nice Christmas. I'm going to do New Year's. That's all great. But I'm already feeling anxiety because I'm not going to be behind the microphone for a couple weeks. And I do this every day. So I'm like looking at, okay, can I get Governor DeSantis on the show? Maybe Jimmy Shubert has some connections. Who can I get on the show to do like a remote interview to keep myself fresh, to keep myself sharp? I would imagine more so in your business, if you don't go on stage for like 3-4 weeks, that's a problem.
Well, here's the thing. That's true that you have to stand up. Kind of like if I take 2 weeks off, it kind of throws off my timing because it's all about timing. Your timing has to be like exceptional in stand-up comedy, but you also have to take time off. You also have to take time to allow yourself to be a human being and go have some life experiences so you can talk about that stuff. And so sometimes that's great. Like January, I'm doing local shows. I'm just doing stuff locally. I'm not jumping on an airplane. I'm going to do, I'm maybe do a show in Key West, which I can drive to. Some other stuff down there in Florida. I'm going to Florida as well. Because my brother has a place down there in West Palm Beach, so I'm going to go down there and spend some time with my nieces and have some family time and recharge my battery. I'm going to do the same thing, so I'm looking forward to it, though. Speaking
right now to Jimmy Shubert, he is at Rick Bronson's House of Comedy all weekend. He has a great act. He's a very funny guy, intelligent guy, charismatic. Listen, I have COVID fatigue. I'm really sick of talking about it on the air. I'm sick of talking about it around the dinner table. I'm sick when
everybody
my friends
is.
bring it up. I am sick of COVID. And I'm going to relate this to Trump, not to get political, but in the sense that a lot of comedians that I talked to a couple of years ago, there was a Trump fatigue, not only internally with you all, but also with the audience. Is that played out on stage, or can you still make it funny?
No, I mean, everybody has COVID fatigue. I mean, I've had it up to here with this stuff. I'm ready for a Chinese hooker from Wuhan province with an itchy crotch and a runny nose to sneeze right in my face. I mean, let's get it over with. I can't live like this. I got to wear those masks. I mean, those masks, it's horrible. I love the people walking around with their nose hanging over top of the mask. It's like, what game are you playing? That's like putting a condom over your testicles. That's not going to do you any good whatsoever, And if you drink coffee all day and sneeze in one of those masks, that's the new crap in your pants. I gotta go home and change my mask. But it's like
I gotta hit my sanitizer here. So you still can. You can make it funny. You're getting creative, and you just kind of riff on it.
Yeah,
right?
you just riff on it because it's like people. It's like people generally have like they're over it. Like, but then now there's a new variant. It's like what happened is the new variant makes you feel exhausted and your body aches, much like you put in a 40-hour work week. That's why the Democrats are afraid of it because it makes you feel like you've worked all week. No, it's no, but it's another. Like I'm just telling you, it's embarrassing. Oh, there's a new variant. It's a new, like anytime a virus mutates, it gets weaker and weaker and weaker. And
Which is good news.
Like you said, hey, I got my 15th booster. I'm not. Look, I got my 2 vaccinations. I'm good. I'm not playing the game anymore. All right, you want to get boosters? Get boosters. I'm not. But well, you're not really vaccinated if you're not getting boosters. No, you can't move the goalposts. You can't play. It's like these transgender athletes. This guy from University of Pennsylvania is shattering all the records. People don't know because he's got a rudder in the water. The surgery isn't complete, but all you got to do is say you're transgender. And I think it's ridiculous. First off, I think these guys are stealing opportunities from women that, this is their one chance to go to college, and you're going to... it's like at some point, the guy's still a man. They're bigger. They're stronger. They shouldn't be competing. Like if you want to create a third division called men who used to be women or women who used to be men division, and they can compete against each other, that's fine. But I think it's really ridiculous.
By the way, we're joking around a little bit, but that's not a bad idea. And actually, people that organize like athletics and stuff, they've actually proposed that. Why not have a transgender, both ways, transgender division, like with MMA and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is
logical.
Well, it's logical, but here's the thing. These are very mediocre male athletes, but when they transition to women, they become exceptional athletes. Maybe you think about that for a minute. Maybe this is a ploy. I just think it's ridiculous. I think Bruce Jenner transitioned just so he could hit from the red tees. At the country club.
For the red tees.
I think you get it from red tees. You got to, it's to me, it's like you can't tell me this is science, this is science, this is science, and then all of a sudden you change science because, quite frankly, the numbers they don't discuss, like 68% of the men who become women commit suicide after they become trans.
Is that right?
Yeah,
that's
true. It's a big number, and we're talking about 3% of the population, if that. And I'm being generous, like. But of that 3%, 68% of them that transition, have attempted suicides or commit suicide. So it's like, I still think, like, whatever you want to do, but don't tell me what science is and then go changing the goalpost. Look, I think the only way to do it is like what you propose, is to have a third division where athletes who used to be men or used to be women, that they can then compete, and I think that's fair.
Okay, a couple more minutes here with Jimmy Schubert. I wasn't going to do this, Mr. Schubert, but I'm going to since you brought it up. I'm sick of the woke stuff and the cancel culture, and I didn't want to bring this up because, I interview a lot of people, and it's kind of cliche to ask a comedian.
Everybody is. It's stupid.
But I got to get you on the record. The Chappelle thing, that even this morning I was reading a new article out about it. The Chappelle thing, if you haven't seen the special, watch the special. For me, that is a man on stage performing art. And if you're going to censor his artwork, then what are we doing here? I mean, it's like a musician, you're going to censor his lyrics?
Here's how obnoxious it is. So he said, like, what does my opinion have to do with your self-identity? Why do you need me to... Like, it's like, I make fun of everything and everyone, and you're telling me now I can't make fun of these people? I'm sorry. That you're above reproach on me making fun of you? No, I can make fun of anything I want to. Now, granted, you have to do it in a way, but this woke culture, it's ridiculous, and it's such a small percentage of the population. But these media types like to put the microphone in the faces of these people. These people are mentally ill. You're mentally ill. If you're going to try to cancel a comedian, you should be at least as half as funny as the comedian you try to cancel, okay? Because I just think it's ridiculous. Dave Chappelle is a national treasure, okay? He's won the Mark Twain Award. The man is a brilliant, prolific comedian, and the fact that these people would try to cancel him. Could you imagine Eddie Murphy, George Carlin, Richard Pryor? Would you cancel those guys?
Yeah.
Because those guys are comedic legends.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're supposed to be evolving, not de-evolving.
You knew those guys like Pryor. I was on a guest on a podcast last night, and somebody brought this up. He said, a part of me is is kind of happy that Pryor's not around because TMZ might catch him on the sidewalk in LA outside the Comedy Store, and he might have to apologize for something he said 30 years ago. This is the climate we're living in right now, and I would hate to see like a guy like Richard Pryor have to apologize.
Well, I got news for you. It's the media in this country. The media, and I know you work in the industry, but if I was in the media industry, I would be furious with some of the colleagues that have this isn't journalism anymore. A lot of it's opinion-based drivel, and you're a big deal. You got a journalism degree from McGill University. I mean, you're not reporting the facts. Give me the facts. It used to be Walter Cronkite. I was just having a conversation with somebody where Walter Cronkite was going, "These are the facts," and then allow you to make up your own opinion about it,
right?
And based on the facts that they gave you. Nowadays, it's like, no, we're going to tell you how to think and feel. We're going to tell you how to think and feel, and it's really wrong. You're not a journalist anymore. It's not even news. It's infotainment.
Yeah.
I mean, who cares who Ben Affleck's screwing? Who cares what he said about his ex-wife? Should this stuff be? Who cares if who cares who J-Lo is having sex with? It's none of my business, and I don't care. I don't care. It's not news. In fact, really doing a wake up one day and realize that nobody watches the news anymore because it's lies on top of misinformation, stacked on top of misinformation. And you think, I'm not. I'm self-educated. So I got news for you. I'm not getting all caught up in your institutionalized, bullcrap.
It's got to be frustrating for a guy that you came up, Jimmy Schubert, when there was no social media.
You know what it is? It was fun then. It was fun. We used to have a blast. We used to go up and say, it was fun. And you got watch guys like Kinnison and Dice Clay and Carlin and Richard Pryor at the Comedy Show. It was fun. It used to be fun. And now, you can get fired over a tweet. How ridiculous. I got fired. What'd you get fired for? A tweet? That sounds so ridiculous to me.
Stupid. But you can't get fired. I mean, in a sense, you don't work for Google.
No,
you don't work for
But
CNN.
I mean, this woman did a tweet and she jumped on an airplane to fly to. She said I mean, look, we're trying to be human beings in a culture that completely misunderstands what it is to be a human being anymore. Look, people make mistakes. People are allowed to make mistakes. Yeah, I maybe I had a couple drinks and I sent out a tweet, but that's not what I meant. I got news for you. That that whole thing they did with Roseanne. I know people have taken that drug, that sleeping drug. What is it?
Ambien. Sure. And
this one girl got up in the middle of the night and painted her house.
Yeah.
And doesn't remember doing it.
Right.
A guy got up and cooked a steak and doesn't remember doing it. He woke up and saw the pan, freaked out, thought somebody broke into his house. Don't tell me that people don't take Ambien and forget stuff. It's true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get it. And it's like you're allowed to be a human being. You're allowed to make a mistake. You don't get to cancel somebody. And how arrogant are these people? You are banished from society. You're no longer allowed to work. I mean, look what you did to Louis C.K. I mean, the guy, what he did was creepy for sure, but I mean, what's the point of selling out two sold out shows at the Beacon if you can't come back and with a couple girls in your hotel room? I'm sorry, that's wrong. I'll correct myself.
Jokes, friends.
These are jokes.
But here's the thing: those are your peers. Look at my buddy, a guy national treasure. Joey Diaz.
Yeah.
They tried to cancel him. He's kind of uncancelable because he's Joey.
No, because he's Joey. But Joey's so authentic as a human being.
Right.
And I love Joey Diaz. He's one of my dear friends. We go back 25 years. He's like, it's so funny. It's like, these are just jokes, people. This is just fun. And I feel sorry for people that are walking around angry and looking to be angry and everything because they must not have any joy in their life.
Are you
whatsoever.
nervous at all? Brian Callen, Joey Diaz, a lot of these guys, these are your peers.
Yeah.
These are in your field. I mean, are you nervous? Like, oh my God, make a little comment, political comment after the show?
No, because people come to my shows and they appreciate it.
They know you.
But they come to see that kind of comedy.
Yeah.
It's old school comedy. Not only is it hilarious, I mean, the laughs per minute in my show are ridiculous. Like people were just laughing, going, I gotta catch my breath. But that's the old school Rodney Dangerfield, like that bang, 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 bang.
Keep punching.
Like one joke after another joke, and that's an old school style of comedy. But it also happens to be hilarious and believe me, laughter is healing. And you're sitting in the audience looking for things to be pissed off about. Did he say that right? You must have no joy in your life whatsoever. I feel sorry for those people. I don't hate them. I just feel sorry for them. And the other thing is, here's the big thing. See, to sit in a comedy club and to be able to get the joke, you have to be smart. See, you have to be smart to get comedy. You sarcasm. You almost have to be a mind reader because inside the joke there's a hidden message. And you have to find the message. And kind of. But you know these. But when you have dumb people, like people with room temperature IQs, people who've been got a college degree, that have been indoctrinated, that are dumb. In fact, they should be twins because they're too stupid to be one person because they can't sit there and enjoy themselves.
You know the other thing
I don't want that. I actually propose putting an IQ detector in the thing when you walk into comedy club. You have to have at least above a room temperature IQ.
A lot of people say that about voting as well. You should take a little test before you're allowed to cast your vote.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, look, you need a license to drive a car. You need a license to own a gun. Anybody could have a kid, and it seems like dumb people are having kids. I mean, I like working to the top of my intelligence on stage, and I think my audiences appreciate that, even though they're rants and stuff like that. But I feel sorry for this younger generation. I mean, there's no joy in your life when you can't go to a comedy club and sit back and relax and listen and laugh and listen and laugh and listen and laugh, and that's really all that's required of you. And it's kind of. But you're right. They try to cancel Brian Callen. Thank God Brian Callen, because Brian Callen is also one of my favorite comics to watch. I think he's brilliant. He's so animated and funny, and Joey Diaz. I mean, I've laughed so hard at Joey Diaz, I think I'm going to pass out.
It's ridiculous.
And David Tell,
right?
They're some of my favorite comedians.
Right.
Bill Burr, and so.
They tried to cancel Rogan too for the horse dewormer, ivermectin. You can't really cancel people.
They went after
that big.
The thing is, the horse dewormer. By the way, there is a human version of that. And if you do the Zelenko protocols, the guy who treated like 1,500 cases.
Zelenko
protocols,
okay.
Yeah. He talks about it. He talks about that Victor Mycin. So what kills COVID-19 is zinc. So if you take lots of zinc supplements, it gets in your bloodstream. But you see, the zinc is like water, and your blood is like oil. And what happens is the initial thing, hydroxychloroquine, creates a fizz in the blood that allows the zinc to merge with your blood. The Victormycin creates a fizz in your blood that allows all that dead stuff to leave your body. So, I mean, there has been a treatment for COVID, but they can't. The reason they keep underestimating because they want to mandate that everybody gets vaccinated. I mean, it's very 1934 Berlin. Okay, your papers are not in order. Your papers it's like when they put the gold stars on the Jews. It's very similar to that. People who are vaccinated can ride the elevator. Unvaccinated people can take a separate elevator. It's like, is this America?
A part of me gets it. Health emergency, hospitals overloaded at the time. But my problem is,
it was at a time.
Where's it going? Where's it going?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Well, the new variant is called communism. And that's what after Omicron. My brothers both have COVID-19.
Are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine. I said to my brother, he goes, Jimmy, I felt bad for 3 days. I took the zinc. I took that's what you take it. See, back in the pandemic of 1918, the hospitals were so crowded during the Spanish flu that they moved some of the people outside underneath tents. And what happened was those people healed and got better faster because of the sunlight. Because the sun, 20 minutes in the sunlight, releases it's such a crazy word. Microbials. Microbials that fight viruses and infections and fever. And so those people heal faster. It's like the sun. We live in such a sun-deficient culture. It's like you get out in the sun. If you say get out in the sun, I do hot yoga, man. I tell you, if I go to hot yoga, and if I had COVID, okay, we're out. We're out about 15, 20 minutes in the class because it's so hot. Like you're just pouring sweat.
Yeah.
It's just pouring sweat.
By the way, you look great. I haven't seen you in person in 3 years.
Thanks, man.
You look wonderful. You look
I lost
lean
weight.
and mean.
I lost 40 pounds.
40
I've been
pounds.
doing the hot yoga. I've been working with a trainer. I've been changing my diet because the thing is, I'm working on my wellness because of all this stuff. I'm working on my wellness.
No one talks about that. Your freaking immune system is so important.
You don't inject health. You achieve health by what you eat. Well, if you're out there, like the thing that you're acting like my healthy breath is going to make you sick. No, the fact that you're drinking 20 Coca-Colas a day is going to make you sick. sick. The fact that you're smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day is going to make you sick. The fact that you eat like crap is going to make you sick. All over processed foods. I mean, it's so funny. I do this thing in my act about butter and margarine. You know, butter, the difference between butter and margarine is butter actually enhances the flavor of food and helps the body absorb the nutrients in the food. Margarine was initially invented to fatten up turkeys, but all the turkeys they fed it to died because it shares 27 of the same ingredients as paint. It literally is one molecule away from plastic. In fact, people who use margarine on a regular basis have a 35 to 40% chance of getting cancers because it's actual poison. But it was approved by the FDA, you know, because the FDA, you know, they're always looking out for you. It's interesting. You know, nobody talks about your wellness and your health and what you're eating, and the fact that we're not taught to grow our own food or to become financially independent, and that all they teach you in school is they want you to become dependent on the system that's in place here. You know, people that are healthy and well and working on their wellness and meditating and eating healthy, those people are uncontrollable people. Those people that live off the grid, that take care of themselves, that are self-sufficient, are uncontrollable. They don't want that. They don't want a hardcore educated population. All right. In fact, your new thing is they want you sitting at home. They want you eating Pizza Hut and Haagen-Dazs and watching them down with Coca-Cola and working on your type 2 diabetes while you watch your giant screen television. You vote because some idiot could dance with a star or could sing. And when you've been sufficiently distracted, you can text your vote in over your iPhone and the AT&T network. And when you've been sufficiently distracted with all that stuff and you call to complain, you'll be talking to somebody in India, you know, because, you know, it's not the when, you know, this, it's just, things are changing and at such a rapid pace. Like some things used to be fine. Now it's just weird. It's like this whole COVID-19 thing is like just an excuse not to give anybody customer service anymore. It's like no more customer service. Just go over there and check yourself out. Yeah, but I don't work here at the grocery store. I don't know the code for a blueberry. All right, I'm not working here. I'm not checking myself out. You gotta, you know. It's like I just find it to be so repugnant and it's gross. It's gross. It's absolutely gross, and that these people would be like, you know, these Karens, like it's worse than, you know what the problem is? It's worse than Little Johnny can't read. Little Johnny can't read, but Little Johnny also can't think. Little Johnny can't do any critical thinking. In fact, Johnny confuses thinking with feeling, and he thinks his feelings matter and the people care what his feelings are, and nobody cares, Johnny. And I feel sorry for these kids. When you get out into the real world, and you're not self-sufficient, because it's a mean, nasty place out there and filled with horrible people that do horrible things to each other. And I mean, like, I don't know what you think the life's a Walt Disney movie. What are you, delusional?
Well, it's not going to matter for these kids because they're not going to be living here in the real world. They're going to be living in the metaverse. That's the next thing. And don't even get me started. Listen, it's noon here at iHeartRadio. Jimmy Schubert is already fired up. Save some of it. Save some of it for the weekend. I don't want to take all your mojo here.
No.
I got him cranked up already. It's noon here. I mean, the guys, you better go home and take a nap.
Who gave me coffee?
You gave him a little coffee. Jimmy Schubert. I can't wait to see the shows this weekend.
Hey, Billy, man, I appreciate you having me on, and hopefully you'll come out and see one of the show, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And if people come out to see a show, it's a great show. It's Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. It's a beautiful club and a beautiful part of town up in High Street. And, man, I love working for Rick Bronson and his wife, Tammy, are great friends of mine. I've known them for 25 years. They run great clubs, and it's a lot of fun. And so if people are in the area, you want to come out and have some real good laughs, some belly laughs, come on out to see a show.
I love it. Jimmy Schubert, Rick Bronson's House of Comedy all weekend, just walking off the mic like a champion. Hey, what did we learn? Take your zinc. You cannot inject your health, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot inject your health. And finally, throw out the margarine. Make sure to throw out the margarine. Jimmy Schubert, we'll see you this weekend. House of Comedy. Thanks, my man.
Thanks, brother.